Hey, my name's Sami from Pioneer DJ, and today I'll be taking you through the key features of the DDJ-FLX10, our new 4-channel performance DJ controller designed with the modern DJ in mind. The DDJ-FLX10 is the latest addition to our Flex series of controllers, which starts off at the DDJ-FLX4. The Flex 4, in my opinion, is one of the best products to start off your journey and develop your skills as a DJ. You can then transition onto the Flex 6 GT, which gives you full-size jog wheels and 4-channel playback. Once you're comfortable on these two products, you'll be ready to move on to our head honcho of our controller range, the DDJ-FLX10. Replacing the popular DDJ-1000 that came out in 2018, the Flex 10 keeps the traditional DDJ layout that we all know and love, whilst introducing some exciting new features that can really take your DJ sets to the next level. If you're looking for an industry standard CDJ, DJM style layout with full-size jog wheels and a 4-channel mixer section, look no further. With the introduction of part separation, DMX lighting control, the Flex 10 is in its own league. But before we go into more detail on the part separation, I just want to highlight some more new features. Let's start off with software. The Flex 10 supports Rekordbox and Serato DJ. Before the Flex 10, we had the DDJ-1000 for Rekordbox and the SRT version for Serato. The new FLX range of controllers are all hybrids. This means they are hardware unlock for both Serato and Rekordbox. And before anyone asks, the part separation works seamlessly on both platforms. Size-wise, it is slightly bigger than the DDJ-1000, and that is due to the part separation section at the top of the unit. Below this, we have the looping section, and this is where I'm going to start off my journey around the Flex 10. Once I have covered all the features in the deck section, I will move on to the mixer and then finish up on part separation. The looping area has been slightly redesigned with the 4-beat loop button now being a circle, giving a nice consistent look in this area. The more confident I got DJing, the more I found myself using loops in completely different ways, especially in build-ups. We have the standard way of setting a loop by using the in and out buttons, or we can use the newly designed 4-beat button to jump straight into a loop.
Making links connect and that's blam. Making links connect and that's blam. Making links connect and that's blam. Blam 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 blam.
Once a loop is activated, you can adjust the loop size in two ways. The first way of changing the loop length is by pressing the in or out with the shift button and using the jog wheel to tighten or expand the loop manually. This is how you can achieve them big build-ups.
Making links connect and that's blam. Making links connect and that's blam. Making links connect and that's blam. Making links connect and blam. Making links connect blam. Making links clam. Making link blam. Making lam. Making lam. Make blam. Make lam. Make lam. Blam 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 blam. Making links connect and that's gang gang gang.
Another way is to double or cut your loop by half by using the in or the out buttons. I will show you how to perform this technique when mixing two tracks together.
Making links connect and that's blam. 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 Making lam. Making lam. Blam 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 blam. Making links connect and that's blam. Making links connect and that's blam. Making links connect and that's blam 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 blam.
When using the loops in this way, I always have one button activated, and that's quantize. My quantize value is set to 1 beat, so it always snaps to the closest transient. If I start the loop without quantize, I'm likely to be out of time, creating an out of time loop, which nobody wants. Another button I use alongside quantize loops is slip mode. Located right next to the quantize, when slip mode is activated, you can manipulate the audio in any way. such as scratching, looping, or even stopping the track completely. Once you have finished being creative with the track, the playback will return to its original position, as if you never touched it. Let me show you, as it's a great way to mash up a track on the fly. On the opposite side of the deck, we have slip reverse. I'm sure you can all guess what this does, but just to show you, when activated, it reverses the track, and then when you release, it will return to its original position. This is a great way to censor your tracks in real time. Moving down from slip reverse, we have the full-size jog wheels that now have the newly coated side pattern. This pattern is representative of the FLX6 GT controller, and with the addition of the jog feel, you can change the tension from light to heavy. This is handy when you're looking to end the track with a long wheel back. You will also notice the multicolour jog rings. These indicate different modes, features on the unit, and are great for a dark environment. We have also included brand new on-jog display modes that allow you to keep your eyes off the laptop screen. The first mode we have is Deck Info mode. This mode shows you important information about the deck, including the overall freeband waveform, BPM, and key. Next, we have waveform mode. This shows you zoomed in waveforms of 2 decks, giving you a software style experience on a piece of hardware. Next, we have the artwork display. This shows the artwork for the track that's currently playing on the deck. And lastly, we have logo display. This shows your own logo or favorite image on each deck. After using the image transfer tool on a PC or Mac, you can easily transfer your logo to the DDJ-FLX10. If we look at the deck info mode, you will also notice the vocal analysis information, meaning you can see precisely where a vocal is either coming in or ending. Lastly, you can use the on-jog display with your pad modes. If you hold down either of the page buttons, you can preview your pad modes within the displays. It's a convenient trick to save you time. Moving down from the jog wheel, we have shift. This allows you to activate the secondary option on the unit. And if you double tap, it will remove the play ahead from the on-jog display. Next we have beat jump, 2 buttons I love to see. The beat jump allows me to jump back and forth by 4 beats, or by using the shift button, 16 beats. I always use beat jump in my sets, especially when I have a long track and I want to shorten it in real time. If you use beat jump on the right beat and with the correct phrasing, the audience won't notice you editing the track live. If you hold down one of these buttons, they also double up as track search. A hold down function on a Pioneer DJ unit is normally indicated by a dash next to the feature name. You can do a super search by holding down the beat jump and using the jog wheel to search for your track. At the bottom of the controller, we have 8 RGB rubber pads that become active once one of the 8 pad modes are selected. The first pad mode we have is Hot Cue. Hot Cue acts as a bookmarker you create when you're prepping the track for a gig. Next we have Pad Effects 1. These are different Rekordbox effects you can use to add more excitement to your tracks. You can change these and select different beat values. Next to Pad Effects 1, we have Beat Jump. This allows you to move around the track using the different beat values that are set already in Rekordbox. And lastly, we have Sampler. This is a great way to use your own jingles, or you can cut samples out from a track within Rekordbox and use them on the fly. Once you go through the first 4 pad modes, you will come to a page select. This allows you to move on to the next bank. In total, for each pad mode, when using the page select, there is 16 pads to play with. The first mode in the second bank of beat effects is keyboard mode. This allows you to pitch up and down a hot cue by 12 semitones, giving the DJ the melodic movement of a full octave, either above or below from the root note. On the FLX10, the root note will show in white, notes above will show in red, and those below in blue. Now the reason why this is flashing is because it's asking me to pick a hot cue. Once a hot cue is selected, I can then use the pad modes to shift my track up or down via a semitone each time.
Blam, making links connect and that's 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 blam.
Next to keyboard mode, we have Pad Effects 2. These are additional effects to go alongside Pad Effects 1. Next we have Beat Loop. I use this mode to easily set loops on the fly. And lastly, we have Key Shift. This allows you to pitch the track up or down by 12 semitones at any point in the track. I know many of you may be thinking this sounds pretty similar to keyboard mode, but the difference is keyboard mode triggers from a hot cue every time. Key Shift will allow you to change the key at any point in the track when activated. One of the features I love about Rekordbox is the ability to customize all 8 modes within Pad Editor. To the right of this, we have the pitch fader. Alongside that, we have beat sync and key sync that all can be used to make your mixing seamless. Before I move on to the mixer, we have a brand new feature called Mix Point that I'd like to show you. This is a playback concept that allows you to preset mixing points using the memory markers or hot cues, meaning you can spend more time on effects, EQing and track separation. Setting up a mix point link is easy, and this is thanks to the new icon in the top panel of Rekordbox. But for this demo, I will show you how to set a link in the traditional waveform view. Once my two tracks are loaded, I must pick where I want the incoming track to start. Once I start the track, I will use the left or right arrow to select a mixing point, then press link. You can see from the channel audio level that the track has already started playing. I can then hold down Shift and Link to silence the track until it reaches the next selected mix point.
This one's brand new. Switch, 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 switch.
Now we'll move over to the controller mixer section, which has inherited DNA from our previous DJM ranges. Firstly, we have two mics. Now these are located in the top left-hand corner of the mixer. The two mics have independent level control and a shared 2-band EQ. Just below this, we have our sound color effects, laid out vertically just like our professional club mixer, the DJM A9. The sound color effects are a great way to add texture to your tracks. On DDJ-1000, there were 4 sound color effects: dub echo, noise, pitch and filter. On the FLX10, we have added 2 more to go alongside the originals: space and crush.
It's all about you. This one's brand new. Switch, 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 switch.
At the top of the mixer, we have a switchboard that allows you to toggle between laptops A and B, or line and phono. We have upgraded our laptop inputs to USB-C, making it super easy to go back to back with another DJ. If you want to use your FLX10 in conjunction with some CDJs or turntables, this is easy. Simply use the RCA inputs in the back and you're ready to go. The FLX10 is a standalone DVS ready mixer, meaning all the beat effects are built into the unit. Staying on effects, we have 14 different beat effects to pick from that include our brand new effect, Stretch. This time stretches the sound of a track or an isolated part, pulling the sound further and further as the wetness dial turns clockwise.
It's all about you. This one's brand new. Switch, 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 switch.
Moving to the bottom of the mixer, we have the new Magveil crossfader. This fader has been upgraded from a 2-sensor Magveil fader to 4, meaning the slightest of movements is registered. Great for your open format and scratch DJs. Lastly, before we get into the track separation, I just want to talk a little bit about DMX-Out. This is our first controller with DMX-Out built into the back of the unit. Within Rekordbox, we have a lighting mode that allows you to create custom lighting or get the software to automatically adapt the color and movement of the lights to progress with the music. What I love about Rekordbox lighting is the ability to go really in depth and edit every color, strobe and movement of a track. Now this is perfect for a memorable first dance of a wedding. When I DJ out, I usually let Rekordbox control the lights for me, but I change my pad modes in Pad Editor just in case I want to take over the lights. To do this, I sacrifice Sampler, as it's the mode that I use the least. Once I have made these changes, this gives me color and strobing on the pad modes that I can use on the fly. Now lastly, the moment we've all been waiting for, we have track separation. Something I have been very excited about, and I can't wait to see how this is going to progress even further in the future. If you're a DJ looking to create unique live performances that is impossible with the conventional DJ gear, the DDJ-FLX10 has the answer. With its track separation technology, you can simply load in a regular song from your music library or streaming service, then use your controller to create remixes and mashups on the fly by independently manipulating the three critical parts of music: vocal, drums, and instrument. Let's start off in the top left-hand corner with active part. Here we have three dedicated color-coded buttons to control each part, so you'll always have a clear visual grasp of what's playing. You can isolate or mute any combination of the three elements to make a live mashup with other tracks.
To come alive until the day is dawning. You can throw out all the blues and hit the city lights, 'cause there's music in the air and lots of loving everywhere. So give me the night.
When using the active part isolate, you will notice the jog ring colors changing depending on what I have active. A really nice feature, and it gives me the ability to play two active parts and the jog ring will change to the mix of the two colors. For example, if I mix red and green, I'll get yellow. If I mix red and blue, I'll get purple. And lastly, if I mix green and blue, I'll get a teal color. Alongside the multicolored jogs, a nice touch that you can toggle on or off is the part separation waveform. Once activated, the waveform will change to match the active part, be it drums, vocal, or instrument. Now we have part instant doubles. This is the same as instant doubles of a track, but with parts. By holding down the shift, this allows me to move the three parts across my channel, giving me more control and creative possibilities. And within Rekordbox settings, we have a new tab called extension. Here, I can decide between moving left to right or up or down. So by holding shift and double tapping instrument, I'm able to shift the instrument from deck 1 over to deck 2. Now if I use my deck select, move over to deck 4, hold shift, double tap vocal, I have now shifted the vocal over to deck 4, meaning my drums are on number 1, my instrument is on deck 2 and my vocal is on deck 3. When using the up and down setting, you can combine this with the dual feature that allows you to control two tracks at the same time and free up the opposite deck so you can load in a scratch sample. So now I'm going to use the up and down on the left deck. What I do, switch over to deck 3, hold shift, double tap vocal, and now the vocal is on deck 3. And if I hold shift and press deck select, I enter into dual mode. This means both of the tracks move at the exact same time, freeing up my right deck where I can add a sample. Next we have part isolate. Now this blew my mind. If somebody was to tell me 10 years ago I could change my 3-band EQ into part separation, I would have never believed them. but I can do just that on the Flex 10. I can change my 3-band EQ into track separation. I do this by pressing the Shift and the Q. The Q button will flash, an indication that is in part isolate mode.
Whenever dark is falling, you know the spirit of the party starts to come alive. Till the day is dawning, you can throw out all the blues and hit the city lights. 'Cause there's music in the air and lots of loving everywhere. So give me the night.
This gives you more control over the volume of each part, meaning you can choose if you want to leave some of the active components in the mix. I use this a lot when I'm isolating a vocal and I need to give it a little bit of a boost. Lastly, we have the effects part select, another feature that blew my mind. Using the 3 parts in the beat effects section, you can choose which part of the track you want to apply an effect to and create your own remix live. For example, you could add an echo, a roll to a vocal, but leave all the other parts alone. Alongside the beat effects, I can also use the part select in the sound color effects. Let me show you. And if all those effects wasn't enough, you can also use your pad effects in conjunction with the part effects isolate. I'm going to now finish off the demo with a quick mix of 2 tracks, and the aim is to use as many performance features as possible. I'm going to start with a coffee track, use the part separation to strip it down to an acapella, and then mix a drum and bass track over the top. I'll then introduce some pad effects, loops, and try and use the part effect select.
Up the place, voting on my relationship. Me, I go put you on lockdown. Put your body on lockdown. You got me on lock now. Got my person on lock. pulling up. Nobody deal with the bag of long talking. Me nothing know we are chilling in an apartment. Up it up, up it up. We go. When up, 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 road. Oh, me, make you want it fast, 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 fast. You know I'm feeling you. So now we.
Thank you to everybody who watched my demo on the Flex 10. We will now move into a live Q&A where I can answer any questions.